March 3rd. I spent today working on difficult administrative tasks. First thing I did was take Schuyler to the vet. She did so well. The vet appreciated how calm and gentle she is, and the vet tech called her beautiful and such a sweetie. I know my kitty is special because she's mine, so it feels good to hear it from the vet. They even gave her a little goodie bag with a catnip mouse, and she spent the rest of the day playing with it. While she kept busy with her very important mouse duties, I continued working on my website. My focus of the day was on my artist statements. Can I just say, as an artist, that some AI is actually awesome? AI that will take my barely coherent rambling and turn it into a polished understanding of my theme is very helpful. I wrote everything, but AI helped me consolidate the wording. It can definitely go too far real easy though. I've been using it to get me started on cover letters for my job applications, and the more applications I do, the less the AI is a starting block, and the more it's literally what I send them. And it all sounds quite professional and good, but purely AI-generated words, in my experience, are a lot of fluff with little substance. So many good words. But what are you actually saying? The issue is less with individual sentences and more with paragraphs. Super useful tool for someone trying to sound a different way than they naturally write. Super scary if no one actually writes anything anymore. Great editor, bad author. I spent all day battling over how to get my complicated sentiments into a concise artist statement. I applied to a bunch of jobs and an open art call and wrote mini statements for each individual art piece too. Busy day. My favorite part of the day might have been the little frog hunt I did. The corner store near me has a big water puddle type pond situation, and the frogs go berserk this time of year. I was determined to actually see one, so I made my 4th overall attempt at finding them. After 3 frustrating minutes of using flash and peering into the thick, dried cattail forest trying to find mud-colored frogs that are kind of mud-shaped too, on the verge of walking away, Paul got me onto a particularly close-sounding guy, and I found him. He was all inflated as he croaked, and he deflated as he croaked, and it was really cool to see, and I'm glad I tried again. Tomorrow is more of the same administrative type work. Normally, these would be my painting days, but this kind of work has been stacking up for me. Anything that involves breaking out the laptop takes me several business weeks to get around to. But I'm drifting, so Louie's out. March 4th. Frickin' heck, today sucked butt. Fucking hell. More job apps to less and less desirable jobs, work on medical insurance paperwork, work on my alcohol serving license. It just feels like I wake up and work until bed, and the days are less individual passing days and more a block of work hours interrupted by mandatory sleep. Which is ridiculous, because I've been working for like 5 days on this. I'm not even going to a full-time job right now. I'm not raising children. I have all the time in the world in perspective. Just a bad, grumpy day today, though. At the end of it, I snapped at Paul, which led to some really hard, but needed relationship conversations, and it was good and healthy, and I'm still so tired. Not sleepy. Couldn't sleep if I tried. And I tried. I went out and bought a vape because my weed pen is in the lockbox till Friday. I'm not even mad about it. It's absolutely a contributing factor to overall exhaustion, but I'm still not mad about it. I've got to figure out a better way to work and rest. But till then, I'll just try to sleep again. Louie's out. March 5th. Didn't have much planned, so I didn't do much today. Wednesdays are, weirdly enough, the only day that Paul and I both don't work, so it's a nice day to hang out with each other sometimes. I made minor progress on getting a plant set up in my studio, but stopped at the power tool step for now. Paul and I watched Wicked. We were very impressed. As lovers of the musical, we both loved the movie. I especially adore the costuming work and the group choreography. Some CGI bits at the end were a little overdone for me, but that's a minor complaint. Tomorrow I'm doing pre-paints and video editing. I can't really get them both done in a day, but they're both planned. Gonna go great. Louie's out. March 6th. If the last 2 days haven't been enough of an indicator, I'm down bad right now. I'm past crying at the gym levels. I'm at the stage of vividly picturing some very un-YouTubeable scenes. The stage of regretting the wrong things. I'm really trying to frame the narrative of my life as an overall optimistic one. But I don't have any optimism in me today. At this moment, I have no self-worth. I think I'm a waste of breath who's only capable of hurting those who care about me. Those moments I have sometimes of complete clarity and joy and hope, from my current eyes, those are all naive moments of distraction that ultimately mean nothing to me. I'll stop writing. Not because I can't go on, but because you get the point. Louise out. Louise, back in to embarrass myself, lighten the mood of the week, throw in a bad rap bar attempt. I'm in a bad way, these hella sad days. I'm not really feeling me and it's about halfway through the weekday. That's it, out again. March 7th. Well, the only thing I jotted down to write about today was the macaroon that I had. Cheap little $3 box of 12 macarons from Winco. But I was stoned and tired, and for some reason, I like having a sweet little treat literally right before bed. I think the tiny little sugar hit and drop helps me sleep, because this routine works for me somehow. Anyway, my pistachio macaron waited for me on my lamp table as I got ready for bed, and eating it was such divinity, it apparently dwarfed the rest of the day. I taught another painting class, I went grocery shopping, and I hit the gym with Paul. We played some board games after work, and I beat him at Connect 4, a game I simply can't take seriously enough. My class went really well, but I felt bad for kind of lying to them. The paintings that I paint aren't entirely achievable within the class parameters. I can use time and several coats and hair dryers to get it to look just right. They don't have that luxury. So when they're asking about the blends they're getting and why it doesn't look quite right, all I can say is, no, you're on the right track, just add more pink. Teaching has some deception to it. I can demonstrate a brush stroke, but employ like 12 variations and only teach one. I help troubleshoot, but if you don't have a practiced hand with a paintbrush, it will likely show a bit. But the point is easy, accomplishable, and fun, so I try my best. That was my day though. Ruled by the macaron. Louise out. March 8th. Well, damn. Paul and I have been having some very important marriage conversations that have kind of consumed the entirety of my headspace for the last few days. Sometimes I think I'm just incredibly impatient. Other times, I can convince myself that, actually, see all this remembered data? I've been very patient. And, in fact, I could convince myself of just about anything. Some inner part of me knows a sense of yes or no, but it isn't always clear. And I have quite a practiced and persuasive inner reasoning. I bring the bullet points, I formulate a thesis, and I support it with 5 paragraphs. And citations, of course. English nerd. I also believe everyone knows how to talk themselves into something, which is proof that we all know how to exploit our own weaknesses at some level. And if I'm wrong, and that's just me, then I'm probably screwed. Today I taught another very chill class, but I tried to be more precise in my instructions. I do think I'm just a little too quiet because the people in the back have ended up chatting the last 2 classes. So tomorrow's class, I'm going to try for confidence, pacing, and volume. I'm doing a flower painting and I'm very excited. It's pretty and fun to paint. Today's paintings were predominantly cloudscapes, and so a lot of people got tired of painting layers on the clouds and started adding creative elements like ponds and trees and even the Eye of Sauron. But that's all for today. Louise out. March 9th. I taught my 4th class today. I definitely showed up to work tired and dragging, but I actually channeled that energy into just a relaxed class environment. I'm always trying to sound relaxed in my introductions, but I think saying things like, hey, your perfectionist won't help you here, isn't as effective at truly relaxing nervous newbies as, like, my painting isn't going to look exactly the same, so don't sweat it too much if your paintings look a little different too. That's all based off my personal crowd reading ability, and truly, I don't know how to judge its accuracy, but it feels right, so I'm going with it. I really love this job. I'm getting a lot of specific and genuine, positive feedback. I've got a lot to learn, but it's a job I can show up passionately to. And a job I can show up a little tired to. It's just painting. It can't be that bad. After work, I finished setting up a new plant spot in my studio, and I finished building a shelf for my new Facebook Marketplace table. I built and painted the shelf, so now my sewing stuff can perfectly tuck off of the table space. I cleaned up the studio and reset it for painting tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to a timeless day spent in my book and on my canvas. I'm reading Murtagh at the moment, and it's very good. Oh, the dumbest thing happened to me today, though. Okay, so I wanted a QR code for my business cards. Make it extra easy to get to my website, right? I Googled it and scrolled past all the sponsored stuff and found a site, generated a code, and downloaded it. It needed my email to download, but whatever. I put it on the card design and ordered my first batch. Well, today I got an email saying that my free 7-day trial is about to expire and the QR code will stop being scannable. They want me to pay them $40 a month so that I can use the picture that goes to my website that I pay for on the cards that I already bought. What the hell kind of level of dystopia is this? So dumb. I had a nice phone call with my mom today. I've been having a very emotional go of it, and she and Paul have been such rocks for me this week especially. Hoping for happier days ahead. For now though, Louie's out.